Hey Aquarius! Welcome to your June 2020 reading. This is TC, your guiding chariot. This is going to be a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. I'm doing things a little differently. This time I really want to focus the energies in this reading on eclipse season. So I'm filming this on the 7th. We kicked off eclipse season this past Friday with the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. We have a solar eclipse in Cancer later this month, and then July opens up with another lunar eclipse in Capricorn. So lots of karmic things kind of coming to the surface for us. Possibly a lot of things concerning our relationships, whether they're romantic, platonic, familial. So I really want to see what kind of energies are playing on us and playing with us. We also have tons of planets in retrograde. I think by the end of June, we actually will have more planets in retrograde than we will have moving direct. So, really focus on how the universe is kind of working on us and what we can really do and what we can keep in our awareness to make sure it's a success and make sure we grow and learn as we were meant to. So, and funny story, this is actually the second time I'm filming your video. I was filming the first one and it was just full of distractions. Ended up having this big mess in the house because the kitties decided to run into some things. And I literally just took that as a sign that we need to switch that message. Because literally that first message was almost as chaotic as what was happening around. There were people driving by. So you guys might be in a bit of an interesting time, my lovely Aquarians. Oh, totally different. Now we're on a totally different track now, which is great. You didn't want to see the first one, let me tell you. Lots of Ten of Swords stuff going on. So if some of you feel like you've literally been like running into a brick wall and not being able to move any further, we're about to change that because we don't like that energy. All right. If you see me fidget with the cards, it's just because this is a new deck and they're massive. Like I have big hands and it's like it's almost too big for me to hold. So if you see me fidgeting with the cards, it's just so I can try to make sure they're all fit in the frame. So first off, let's see what's going on in the 3D. What's going on in your physical surroundings. This is lovely. We're starting off with Reason. It's all major arcanas. So beautiful, beautiful, important things at hand. So this is the Emperor in this particular deck. So there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of, I want to say ownership is the word that kind of comes to mind, because you think of the Emperor, you know, he carries a lot of responsibility. You got a lot on your plate that needs to be handled, that needs to be taken care of, that needs to be handled, and possibly not only for yourself, but for the people around you. This could be, if this is work, this could have to do with clients, or if you're an employer, this could have to do with your employees instead of your customers, I was going to say teammates, but co-workers. This could be, you know, your friends if you guys are doing something together, or people are relying on you for things, family for the same reason. So it feels like you are just owning a lot of responsibility, and it feels like it's a lot of responsibility that has to do with other people. Like other people are relying on you, which is a great thing. Like that's not a bad thing at all. There's also this, and I love seeing this, you have the Ascension card, which is the World, and the Starseed, which is the Fool in this deck. So I love to see this because it's literally what I was talking about, how this karmic stuff is coming up. So here's the end of a cycle and the start of one. So literally wrapping things up and moving into something new. So you are kind of, and it makes sense why you're showing up as the Emperor as well, because he's, you know, a master of what he does, right? He's the top of the heap, he's the leader. So it makes sense that you've reached a point of mastery where now this particular lesson can be closed and you know, put the book back on the shelf, we're done with it, and it opens you up to a brand new beginning. So to me, this eclipse season for you, at least, you know, on the physical level, is really about finishing this up, and most of it I think is already done. You're just kind of getting into this frame of mind and getting prepared to start this new beginning, which, hey, who doesn't love that? Mental space, what are we thinking about? Ooh, okay. Very interesting. I can hear my cats running around. I don't know if you can hear the rumbling. I can hear them chasing each other all through the house. Still kind of crazy in this household. All right. So we have the Seven of Chalices. This is Seven of Cups. So there may be some confusion going on, just because there may be a bunch of offers or options on the table. You can see all of these different cups all have something different to offer. There's something different inside each one of them. You know, so as we close out this cycle, there may be many paths that we could take this in, many different directions we can utilize these learned skills, right? So there may be many avenues opened up to you. Some of them you may like, some of them we may not. That just kind of helps the decision making, in my opinion. But there seems to be a bit of hesitation here with this Four of Crystals, right? Because this energy doesn't really want to change. This energy wants to hold on to what is, even if what is, you know, maybe puts us on the defensive. It's not necessarily a bad or a good thing, right? Because sometimes this is important because we want to make sure we're holding on to things that are significant and protecting things that need to be protected. But at the same time, we don't want to be limited by those either. You know, if there's a new opportunity, you know, around us that could take us further, take us higher, we don't want to be closed off to that either. And I kind of feel like that's kind of your test right now, Aquarius. Because as I said, we're finishing out one cycle where you've had, you know, a good amount of success, which is great. You've learned your lesson. This is beautiful. Now you're beginning this new journey, this new path that, you know, is presenting a new test, because now we have to make this decision on, you know, what to do with what we've learned. This Four of Crystals could be hindering that, where we don't want to change. We don't necessarily want to do something different. You know, we want to kind of stay with what's comfortable, and I don't even want to say comfortable. That's not the right word. Familiar. Let's say that. I think that's more in line. We want to stay like kind of within our wheelhouse. We don't necessarily want to try and, you know, reinvent the wheel. We're comfortable with how the wheel is. We have the Lovers card here as well, so it could be dealing with a Gemini for sure. This Lovers card is interesting because I don't feel a whole lot off of it, it's odd. This feels way more significant. And I say this is odd because this is a major versus two minors, but the minors seem to be pulling my focus a lot more. This Lovers card may be something that's kind of upcoming. It could even be some type of connection with a partner for something. So if we're talking about work, for some of you, this could be a new business partner. Obviously, this could be a romantic thing as we maybe close out, you know, a relationship, or close out our beliefs, you know, concerning our relationships, what we want out of a relationship, how we show up in a relationship, how we expect our partner to show up in a relationship. As we close that out, this could be part of this new beginning. Someone, you know, more aligned with our needs and our desires. It just takes that sorting out, right? You have to figure out what that looks like and what we want. So there may be something at play there. This just feels further off, if that makes sense. Like what's really in front of you now, what needs to be taken care of now, is really sitting right here in these two cards. Sorry, I literally just had a hair in my mouth. Random. This is such a strange morning. There's a lot. I almost wonder if there's a lot distracting you, Aquarius. I wonder if that's what's going on. There's just a lot of distractions buzzing around you that's making this decision even harder. Because not only are there options and we're trying to figure this out, then you're adding all this extra stuff that's trying to just get in the way, which I can totally see why that would make you defensive. You're just kind of barreling down while everything is kind of going crazy around you, waiting for the moment where this seems easier, seems like it's clearer. That may not happen, so you might have to just kind of work through that and just push through it. And that energy, in a way, is very Gemini. And you're a fellow air sign. I'm sure you can relate to that at some level. But like Geminis are constantly sending and receiving messages. Like that's what they do. That's what they're good at. Sometimes the communication can be funny just because there is so much going on in that busy little brain of theirs. But you might be getting a dose of that right now, and learning how to juggle that and manage that, and, you know, kind of maintain through all of that crazy. That could be happening, and that would be a perfect test for this Emperor energy, because he can't afford to be frazzled. He can't afford to be distracted. So this may be, you know, a test of all these skills you've learned going on. So definitely things to be aware of. Spiritually, what do we have? Yeah. Love. 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 Oh. I'm excited about that. Okay. So let's talk about this. So on a spiritual level, again, in connection with that starseed, with that Fool card, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Crystals. So new offer, new abundance. Definitely if this is a work thing, lots of growth potential, brand new job, much more earnings. Definitely enjoy those things. Ooh, excuse me. Slowly waking up here. To me, this Ace of Crystals is more about an opportunity, not necessarily like physical manifestation. Now, could it be? Yes. Down the road, is it going to bring that to you? Definitely. So, definitely a promise here. But I think immediately what's happening kind of right now and over eclipse season is more so about the opportunity that leads to this. Remember, this is pure abundance with the Ace of Crystals. So this could be money. This could be, you know, romance. This could be love. It could be anything. It's abundance in almost any form. You know, so again, take how it resonates. The reason I say it could be romance, we have the Lover's card here. You also have the Two of Chalices here, so another soul connection. And the Four of Flames, which is about commitment and gratefulness and gratitude. But, you know, another strong card if this was a relationship reading. So there may be someone on your mind. Romance in general might be on your mind. Because again, how we look at relationships is getting a big shift. And you are one of the more social signs in our zodiac, Aquarius. So definitely relationships could be coming into play. Romantic, platonic, familial, could be almost any of them. I will say the one that's going to be heaviest on your mind is going to be very significant. There's definitely a good emphasis that this is going to be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. And I also would say this doesn't matter if you're single or in a relationship, leaving a relationship, looking for a relationship. Doesn't matter. It applies to everyone. But again, it's just going to be in a different form depending where you are. For those of you that are really connecting with this, especially the Two of Chalices, it feels romantic in a way where you've kind of reached this point where you have gotten to the point where you need to be, where you're a perfect match for this divine counterpart, right? You've reached your emperor status, and don't let the gender play with you. This is energetic, not physical. So a woman could be an emperor just as much as a man could be an empress, as far as the cards are concerned. But this is a very strong, confident energy. This is where we needed to be. This is where we needed to get to before this came in. So this is helping shift this perspective. This is helping with this growth. So that's coming. I don't feel like you really need to worry or put a whole bunch of energy into that, Aquarius, if that's what you're looking for. You know, if that's not your focus, don't worry about it. That's just a happy blessing. If that's what you're looking for, take this as confirmation that it's on its way. You've done what you needed to do to kind of be in line with this. The biggest thing you should be focusing on is this kind of decision about how do we move forward? What do we do next? Because I feel like this has to do a lot with career and what you do, quote unquote, right? Now, could this be about this relationship and how you define relationships and what you're looking for? Of course, it totally could. Take it how it resonates. But for a majority of you, this feels like it has to do with work and tasking and things like that. This, I feel like, is kind of just a byproduct of the abundance once you get in line with everything. So interesting. Feels like there's a lot to chew on and lots to think about as you kind of go to this like redefinition, if you will. You know, screw it. You can have two. I was like, no, we're taking those. All right. Ooh, okay. Interesting message. All right. So first one out, we have the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. What did I tell you? Down the road, but it's coming. It's already been promised to. It's yours. And then we have cardinal moon. So we do have, actually we have two cardinal moons. This lunar or solar eclipse coming up in Cancer, cardinal moon. So it's going to be the new moon. And then the full moon. Wait, no, now I'm confused. Yes, new moon. I was right the first time. Good Lord, what is happening with my brain? So we have the new moon in Cancer, which is a cardinal moon. And then after that, we have a full moon in Capricorn, which is another cardinal moon. So again, really indicative of eclipse season for you. So lots of growth opportunity. Here the prompt is to be bold and make the first move. Again, connecting to this Emperor. Confident, takes initiative, goes after what he or she wants. That's what's coming up here. So again, it's all about this choice and being active, right? So yes, there's planning. Yes, there's things that need to be chewed on and thought about. You know, once that decision is made, then you act upon it. Then you do it. Then you seek it out. Go for it. Because again, that puts you in the vibration to attract all of this. I almost want to say it's kind of like that phrase, ask and you shall receive. I would almost say the counter is also possible here. If you don't ask, you don't receive. Like, you'll never know until you ask, right? And even if you get a no, you're in the same place you were at the start of it. You don't lose anything, right? But by never trying, you never gain anything. So it's a very ask and you shall receive. But the beautiful thing is, we started off this reading, you already showed up as the Emperor. So you've done what you needed to do. You're already there. You're at the point to ask the question. So take the time to decide what that question is and what that question looks like and what your expectations are, but then act. And then, like I said, then you will receive. It's already got your name on it. It's like the universe knows exactly what you need, knows what you're going to ask for. They've already put it in a box, wrapped it with a bow, put your name on it. They're just waiting for you to ask for it, and they're going to hand it over, which is beautiful. The riddle is just, what are you supposed to ask for? And like I said, you're capable of figuring that out. You have what you need. You've learned what you needed to from this old lesson, right? Because we have the World here with Ascension and then the Fool. So you're ready to close this chapter. You're starting the new one. You're about to pick the book up off the shelf. We're just deciding which book. Ooh, Aquarius, this is exciting. Good on you. Love it. I'm going to wrap up your reading here. As always, sending you love. Continue to take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Be safe as, you know, our world and our global community is figuring out how to move forward and how to heal some really, really deep wounds. Just remember to be kind to each other. Be compassionate. I love you. Take care. And I will see you in your next video. Bye, Aquarius.